if you're in the Phoenix market right now, you have a massive opportunity. That opportunity is coming in the form of new builds. I bought a new build last year for 3.75% was the rate that I got locked in for the full 30 years. Yes, this was last year when rates were at 6.5. Okay. So 3.75% for the full 30 years. The really wonderful thing about that is you get a lot of principal pay down really quickly. But the real opportunity is if you do this, and say you do this on a yearly basis, when you sign a contract for conventional loan, FHA, VA, they all have something in there is basically saying like you intend to live there for the next 12 months if you're purchasing for a primary residence, which is what we did. We purchased for a primary residence, so we're right at the 12-month mark right now, and even a year later, new build companies are still offering these really fantastic rates. We found another one. It's a 4.99% rate. The price point's a little bit higher, but they're offering a 3-2-1 buy down. And what I really love about this is with a 3-2-1 buy down on a 4.99% rate, your starting rate year one is 1.99. Then it goes to 2.99, then it goes to 3.99, and finally to 4.99. This is significant because we're going to move in another year or two, right? So as soon as we can, we're going to go buy another property. Minimum 12 months, right? We're signing something, we're saying we intend to live there for the next 12 months. In all intents and purposes, we do. But after that 12 months is up, we go move again, we buy another house, so we rent it out again. Now, I would not be surprised if builders are offering these same incentives a year from now. I do not expect demand to pick up significantly where they stop offering these great rates in a year. And so we will probably just go do this again next year and purchase yet another property, rent out the one we're living in. We are not putting a lot of money into these deals. I believe that this is something that isn't attainable for almost everyone who's at the right life phase. This would be difficult if we had a large family, if we were kind of already into a bigger home to switch to what we're doing, because these are townhouses. They're not single family homes, but we said, you know what, we wanna live in a place that we can use to build wealth. At Integrity Homes, we believe that everyone deserves the opportunity to go and build wealth. And the reason is generosity is really fun. It's the most fun you can have with money is to give. And so this is just a simple path. I believe in real estate because it's the most proven path. The most proven path to build wealth. Every millionaire has real estate in their portfolio. That is just a fact. So not only is this something that I do, but we also teach others how to do this. We create investors. You buy a primary residence, yes, but we're also going to talk about the investing side, because the investing side allows for so many great things for people. It's really I could do a deep dive on the 4 pillars, the 4 ways that real estate can make you money as an investment property. That's probably its own video. And so I won't do a deep dive into that here. But specifically the single family real estate, condos, townhomes, single family houses, the opportunity is there and easily accessible to almost everybody. And that's why I'm in it. That's why I have real estate, because it's easily accessible to me. Now this is not a knock on anyone who's investing in real estate that's not the single family category. I know several great investors that are doing that right now. Single family is still there as a real investment, and the key being it is easily attainable. Most people aren't going to go and their first real estate investment be like the building that a Starbucks is in, because it's not as easily attainable, and they don't have anything to like roll up into that. And what I mean by that is like taking a single family home, say you have 7 and they all have like 50% equity. And so you can then sell all of those right at the same time and 1031 exchange that so that you don't pay taxes on it into a Starbucks property, right? That makes it easily attainable, right? And so what's the investment right now that's easily attainable to you, that's going to help you build wealth long term, is proven to help many people build wealth long term. And I'm just going to be controversial and say it's probably not the stock market. We were actually looking at this right now. The maximum Roth contribution that you can make per person is about $7,500. Okay, so if, say you're married, so you and your spouse, you both contribute $7,500 a year to your Roth IRAs, and say it grows at a fair market rate of like 8% or something like that year over year. Say you start that at your 20, right? So, or 30, right? Give it a full 30 years of that. Or maybe a little bit longer, but you're probably going to have about 500 to 550,000 at the end of all that, that you've contributed, and maybe 2 million total. That's like in your Roth IRA, right? If you've been extremely disciplined, you haven't touched it, you haven't gotten scared and pulled out of the market, okay? We'll just say that this is like the most generous I can be with this scenario. It's around 2 million. That's really not a lot of money, especially when you think about 2 million in 30 years. Because something that most people don't realize is that your purchasing power actually goes down every year, and that's because of inflation. Okay, so in 30 years, your purchasing power is going down every single year by, I mean, historically, it's at the minimum 3%. In some years, it's been quite a bit higher. That's just as the market has cycles. Some years it's significantly higher than other years. And so $2 million 30 years from now isn't really going to be that much. I mean, if I'm being extremely generous, you can cut it in half into 1 million or less. Actually, I just did the math. That's going to be about $800,000 in today's purchasing power. You think about that, that's significantly less, right? We're talking less than half, okay? So can you retire on $800,000 in today's purchasing? You probably could. But again, if that's in the stock market, if that's in your Roth IRA, and you're only taking some out at a time, well, what if the market's down that year, right? I mean, 800,000 in today's dollars, and then you're like, say it's down, so maybe you only have 700,000 this year. You got to pull it out. You got to pull money out because this is like part of your retirement. It's what you're living on, and so that number is just constantly being diminished. What if you had $800,000 worth of real estate in 30 years? It's paid off. So what if the market's down then? You're not selling portions of the real estate. Somebody's living there. You have a tenant paying rent every month. If it's paid off, it's $800,000 property. Getting a significant amount of cash flow there. Probably around $4,000, maybe $5,000 a month right now. Just something to think about.